So, good afternoon. My name is Kristjan Otsmann, and I've been working as a personal and team productivity coach and trainer for 8 years right now. I've been working with around, let's say, 8,000 people. I slowly start to understand what I'm doing. So, what we are going to do today, at first, I thought that I'm going to show you 3 really simple tools you can use in the project meetings. And I'm going to extend somehow the Alex talk. How many of you did you enjoy Alex talk here? Okay, about 50%. So, how do we start? We start pretty easy. During the next 2 minutes, please discuss with your neighbor or with some people what would be the successful outcome of this talk, of this presentation. So, what do you know in 50 minutes? So you have 2 minutes for that. Go ahead. Just talk in the small groups of 2 or 3. That successful outcome. So you have still 30 seconds to go. Lots of agile people here, is it? Because you were almost done and you still have some 20 seconds to go. So, great. So, what would be the successful outcome for you from this this presentation or this meeting here? So, what do you expect?
Very simple tools.
Yeah, simple tools. Yes, of course. What else? What are your expectations? Tips and tricks. What else?
The subject matter expert has something to say.
Yeah, the expertise or expert opinion. Yeah, what else?
No expectations. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, no expectations at all. It's very good to live in Buddhist way without any expectations. You are never disappointed. Yeah, what else?
Fun.
Yeah, fun. Jokes. Again. Is it some kind of stand-up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else? Yeah, examples. Yeah. The best practices, how to use those. Anything else?
Definition of fruitful meeting.
Pardon?
Definition of fruitful meeting.
Yeah, definition of fruitful meeting. Yeah, so what is the fruitful meeting? Definition.
Meeting good fruits.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So that's more or less what we're going to do. Yes, we are going to do that. Almost done. Yeah. So let's. So I thought that I'm going to show you and demonstrate some very easy things. At first, why doodling is so good. And those who took part in Alex's talk here during the presentation, you already saw some graphics. How many of you do remember what were the guys called? How many of you do remember Rein, Kevin, and Miley from? Yeah, and do you remember the faces of those persons? But do you remember what was written there? No. Yeah, exactly. That's the power of doodling. We remember the doodles, but we don't remember the text. I explain why. And then I'm going. Yeah, pardon?
What part of text do you want to know?
Let's say expectations from Miley.
Miley expected that he could represent his husband, even though he had a child and.
Yeah, 2 children. Do you remember? Yeah. Yeah. Did you take part in this project?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Then.
I have to mention I'm a software developer.
Absolutely. Yeah, that explains. So, and then I'm going to explain some formats in meetings. How you can use those things, and I'm going to explain, introduce some methods you can use when you want to reach to the consensus. If you want that every person in the same room, they are going to be on the same page, and you want them to co-think. So let's start with the doodling. At first, let's do a very simple exercise. And for that exercise, you need some paper. In case you don't have some paper, please pass those papers along here, because I just discovered you have no paper here. And you need 1 sheet of paper for 2 persons. So 1 sheet of paper for 2 persons, just one, and you need a pen for 2 persons. And when you're done, then very first thing, okay, let's wait until you have distributed the papers. So exercise is dead easy. So please pair up. So please find a partner. So you two are together. You two, please find a partner. You can be, yeah. Okay, good. Please find a partner. And you need 1 sheet of paper for 2 persons and 1 pen. Do you have pens? Okay, you meant. Very first thing, please draw 2 dots on the paper. Please draw 2 dots. And exercise is very easy. We have exactly 1 minute for the exercise. And there are some rules. No talking. You can't talk to the other person during the exercise. And your goal is to draw a face. But we are going to co-create this face. You are going to draw this face this way that you can draw only 1 line at once. So for example, one person draws this way, and then another one draws next line, and next one, next line, etc., etc., etc. But you can't talk. You just give the pen over, and you can draw 1 line.
Make a drawing with 1 line.
Yeah, only 1 line. If you.
Yes,
of course, but you have whole minute. You as much as you can do during the minute. But there is very clear rule. If you raise your pen, you have to hand it over to your partner. No. Okay, let's start, and we work in the silence. Ready and go. "25 seconds to go." 12 seconds. Six seconds. And you're done. Okay. So, and before we are going to sell those fabulous works to the modern Tate, you can just show and look at the other person's pictures. So, what did you draw? Oh, perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, great, marvelous, splendid. Yeah. So, what happened during this exercise? What did you do? Yeah, the goal was really clear, and you should think a couple of steps ahead. What else did happen?
It's called extreme programming in software engineering.
Yeah.
But in this case, we shared the project, and we both had different ideas what to draw.
Yeah.
But we fixed each other independently after each step.
Yeah, you had to collaborate somehow, and maybe in some occasions you just made a silent agreement. Okay, I draw eyes, you draw ear. Or I draw one eye and I draw another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah, I copy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what else did happen?
I said it's not important. We allow other person to do what he wants.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just and fit, and I doesn't give absolutely nothing what he or she does. But we are going to draw a face like Picasso did. So anything else?
It's important also that each member contributes to the cause.
Yeah, contribution is important. What else?
One person totally needed because the story is actually by one line.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like timing is important.
Yeah, timing is important. Be fast like a rabbit. So what is the real importance of this exercise? Is that people are visual. So how do we perceive information? In case this one is our brain, then we have different perceptions or different ways to perceive information. So we touch some information, then we hear some information, then we taste some information, etc. We smell some information. So guy with a big nose, but the 80% of information we perceive is visual. Of course, except if we are blind. But in case we deal with the blind people, they are visual as well. But their visual perception is coming from the other sensory ways. And that is the reason why it is so important to doodle during the meetings. Because if you doodle something, one Japanese research showed that if you write something during the meeting, and if you review your notes, let's say after 2 years, then you can restore about 20% of the information. And it takes hell of a lot of time. But if you doodle during the meeting, then 10 years later, you can recall about 80% of the information. And doodling is very fast, so please doodle. There is another thing why it is so important to doodle.
I could actually improve this version, and this is from competition for best memory. You have to remember the deck of cards or different tasks.
Right.
But real takeaway there is how do they remember the whole deck? They do this by remembering a story, because for every card they pick an object in the room they can actually see and think of a funny story that is absurd.
Yeah.
It's stupid,
Yeah.
but they will remember it and they start repeating it and building.
Yeah, it is called Loci method.
Yes.
Yeah, so you create paths with some kind of milestones, and every milestone you will remember something. So that's what you're talking. There is another thing. If somebody, this is the car, car with the information, and it is moving this way, and if somebody during the meeting is going to write down things you are telling them, then they are driving in the opposite way. And what is the result? We are using the same perception channels for writing information and the same channel for listening information. And there is a crash. And that's the result, is that you can remember about 20% what did happen. In case, if this one, again, is the information car during the meeting, and it's moving, but you are doodling. You don't write things down, but you doodle. And wham, you use different channel for perceiving information. And that is the reason why you can remember 80%. Another thing, if you doodle, be fast like a rabbit. If you doodle the face in 60 seconds, then I'm afraid you didn't care much about shading and giving different expressions to the face. You know, some Mona Lisa smile, etc., etc. But probably no. Probably just doodle something. It is very important, if you doodle, then please be fast like a rabbit. Again, this one is rabbit. No, this is cat. No, this is a rabbit. Yeah. Be so fast. Why is it important to be fast? Because nobody has time. Look at the young children. For example, how children age of 2 or 3, they doodle. And for example, if you ask, please doodle a person. Yeah, okay, yeah, fine. It's a person. You can understand this is a person because our mind is very good in joining and putting together puzzle pieces. So missing pieces, there are some pieces missing. And if you give this picture to the 5-year-old kids, then he or she tells, no, it's a turtle. So you can be quick as a rabbit. If you doodle in the meeting, and if you doodle publicly, please doodle in the same side of the table with a client. Why you should use the same side? If you doodle during the meeting on the table.
You're understanding.
Yeah, you have the same perspective, and you can be faster. Some more suggestions. If you have to write during doodling, and well, you know, if you use symbols only, then later it might be difficult to translate the doodle into a normal language. Maybe you forget something. So sometimes it's good to write. So if you write everything done, then what would be the best option? Should you write all together? All letters, write all letters together. Or perhaps separate different letters. Or perhaps you should use all caps. Which one is the best one? Separate, because then you can understand what is written. Here, this one is terrible, and this one takes too much time. But this one is the best one, if you rehearse. So, those were some ideas about doodling I'd like to share with you. There is so much in doodling. This doodle is again Estonian, damn it. This one is usually when I'm training time management. Then we take some plotter paper and we just take the project paper and we stick it to the wall as long as we can. And this is 8 hours training. And later, you just look and you can understand everything, what happened. Just take a picture and that's the concept. It's really easy and fast. Please use it. Next. So we covered doodling. Next, meeting formats. Why are the meeting formats so important? Because doodling is a tiny piece of content, or perhaps even more, a tiny piece of process. But if you don't have a format, then it's nonsense. I'd like to show you a short film clip from the movie you probably seen before.
The restaurants? Pretty smart, huh?
Pretty smart. I'm ready. Let's do it right now, right here. Come on.
Right. Same as last time, remember? The crowd control. I had employees. I love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
So there was a meeting with us with a very clear outcome. Do you agree? Yeah, the outcome was disastrous, but outcome anyway. So why did I choose this film, Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino?
It's a great movie.
Yeah, absolutely, but there are another reasons as well.
Quick decisions.
Yeah, anything else?
Small meeting.
Yeah, small meeting, 2 people, a clear outcome. Anything else? Yeah, commitment. Anything else?
Concrete action.
Yeah, concrete action plan. Anything else?
I think it's from both
Pardon?
sides.
Different personalities.
Yeah, different personalities. And the movie is a really clear format. Quentin Tarantino created a format with a Pulp Fiction. And why is the formatting meeting so crucial? If you can choose, you may go either to the movies or to the meeting. Which one would you choose?
Depends.
Depends, but usually, yeah, movies, please. Meetings are boring.
So are some movies.
Yeah, absolutely. But if the movie has a conflict in it, and every good movie has a conflict.
No.
So,
Documentaries.
whoa, come on! A man and the nature, a man and the history, a man and destiny, conflict between religions. There is conflicts everywhere in documentaries. Only crap documentaries don't have a conflict. For example, even movies by Aki Kaurismägi from Finland, they have a conflict. Guys are sitting for 10 minutes in the sauna, smoking. And suddenly one stands up and tells, "Nyt mennään." A conflict between people and time. So there is, every good movie has a conflict. And the reason why we choose movies is the conflict. We love conflicts because they got us engaged. But hey, the movies are not interactive. Meetings are. You can't tell those 2 persons that please don't shoot. And they don't stop. They're shooting anyway. And they have done it hundreds of times. So, if you want to go to the meeting, then you should care that the meetings will have some format because it makes sense. There are different, Patrick Lencioni has told that there are different formats in TV. For example, there are 3-minute news, then there are soap operas, nothing happens, but everybody is watching, almost everybody. Then there is full movies like Pulp Fiction, and then there are, for example, the coverage of Olympic Games. So 4 very clear formats. What will happen in case in TV they are going to mess those 4 formats, and they are going to mix those formats? Will anybody watch this crap? Probably no. It's like Estonian people. How many Estonians are there? Yeah, it's almost like a reporter from Kanal 2. Nobody understands what's going on, but everybody's watching some kind of crap. So, sorry for the local joke. Yeah, so, meetings should have a format. And Patrick Lencioni tells us that we don't take part, or we don't go not too many meetings. We go to the too few meetings. We take part in too few meetings. But those few meetings, they take part. They just go for hours and hours and hours. We spend too much time there. And he suggests that we should format meetings. Very first meeting, you know that. That's probably, it's basically daily stand-up. And what is the content of daily stand-up? At first, we look back and we report what were my yesterday's 3 most important things I did. Next, what were the obstacles I'm facing, but don't discuss the obstacles. And what are going to be my tomorrows if I look forward? What I'm going to my tomorrows, today's 3 most important things I do, up to 3. So it's basically daily stand-up. It takes usually 5 to 15 minutes. People are standing. Why is it important to stand? Yeah, exactly. So it's much shorter. Next format is weekly or bi-weekly tactical. So it was daily stand-up, next one tactical. Never mess in the meeting tactics and strategy. Have you been in the meeting where the tactics and strategy are mixed up? I've been. It's terrible. It's a nightmare. For example, everybody is discussing the tactics, next week's upcoming plans, and suddenly somebody tells him during the meeting, well, I just had a thought. It's always, it's a terrible sign that something terrible is going to happen if somebody tells it during the meeting, I had a thought. And I had a thought that probably we should move our headquarters to the Berlin. And off it goes. Nothing happens, everybody is jabbering, and there are no results at all. So please keep those things separated. Tactical meeting. The structure is the same, like here. At first, we have so-called lightning phase. During the lightning phase, we are going to discuss the same things like here, but so everybody reports what were my 3 most important things I did that are important to other people too, not only from my personal perspective, but for the whole team. Next thing is what are the common obstacles that we have to talk about with a team? Not only my obstacles, but the common ones. And third one, what are my expected outcomes for the next week? And those outcomes that are important for the whole team. And then we can put together an agenda for the meeting. Things we should discuss. It takes usually 45 to 90 minutes. And by the end of the meeting, we have very clear outcome. Who is going to do what for the next meeting. So that was tactical stand-up. During the strategical meeting, everything is different. At first, we had to prepare if somebody is not prepared, then we cancel the meeting. Actually, one of our clients, it's a multinational company, they arranged a meeting in Stockholm, and everybody was flying there from all over the Europe, and 4 persons out of 12, they were not prepared. And then CEO told, okay, have a nice trip back home. We are going to gather again in a month. Please do me a favor and prepare them. And everybody was very disappointed. And so they flew away to the home. And they returned in a month. And it's happened 3 years again. After that, it was the last occasion that somebody did not prepare for the meeting. So always prepare for the strategical meeting. Then discuss. Usually, you can discuss, let's say, 1 to 2 topics during the meeting. And you need, let's say, 1 to 2 hours per topic, at least. So please keep separated tactical approach and strategic approach. In the project management world, what could be the examples of the meetings? Project kickoff, strategical. If you have a stage boundary, for example, or delivery of it, or if you have, let's say, in Agile, if you have retrospective, it's tactical. So every time, please ask, what is going to be the format of the meeting? And then you can save time, a lot. What kind of questions, annoying comments, and everything else you have about meeting formats? Before I show you one technique that is good for reaching consensus, both in tactical and in strategic meetings.
It is annoying things if you interrupt someone.
No, I didn't get.
For example, we are talking, like a clear sense of what you want to say to the public, and then I interrupt you with a question.
No problem at all. It's called interaction.
Yes, but for some people, they lose their train of thought. And
Yeah, but in case I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my focus, then I can just make some notes and we can discuss and we can return again. Or in case the issue is going to be more deep, we have to discuss, for example, 2 hours about interruptions. Then I would park this visually. So, okay, so you think that we have to discuss the interruptions. Okay, how to deal interruptions. And we're going to do that next meeting. Is it okay? So,
you can contact me by email.
Yeah, exactly. Please park visually. Why? Because do you know what is the average age of average American emotionally? Not physically, but emotionally.
12.
No, you're really optimistic. 5. 5 years old. And if you've ever walked with a young child, let's say a young boy, 5 years old boy, in the street, and suddenly he sees a marvelous car, red shining sports car, how does he act? Wow, look, there is a car, there is a car. How long does he cry that there is a wonderful car?
For as long as I like it.
Yeah, actually, as long as I tell him that, yes, that's a great car. Yeah, okay, let's go. So, if you have somebody in the meeting who is crying that he or she has a problem, for how long he or she is crying? Yeah, until you park this problem. So, actually, average Estonian emotional age is probably about 5-2. So there are no researches, but I have my doubts. So last thing I wanted to demonstrate to you. There are some So I've covered doodling, meeting formats, last one, how to reach consensus. I wanted to introduce shortly KJ technique. And this is technique that is, it comes from the Jiro Kawakita, if I don't mistake, one Japanese engineer. And what is KJ technique? Have you ever used KJ technique, I wonder? How many of you? Yeah, there is a clear structure. Yeah, those are called post-its, you know, sticky notes. But you need some sticky notes for KJ technique. So there are very clear steps. First step, you give you define the question. So very first thing, what is the question? What is the question you're expecting to be answered? For example, what is going to be a successful outcome of this project? Very clear question. And everybody is a second step. Everybody is writing one answer per sticky note. And people are not talking. In Estonia, it's not a problem. People are usually exchanging their minds and opinions silently, telepathically. No talking. In Finland too. So, third step. You ask people to come to the wall or to the table, and you ask them to group those ideas. And they just discover by themselves how to group. Okay, yes, this one goes together with this one and this one. You just form clouds of the ideas from those. Third step. Fourth, thank you, I'm sorry. In Nordics, you need, let's say, 30 to 50 centimeters per person for grouping the ideas, because otherwise people are packed together too tight. So, fourth step, you give a title to every group. If you can't agree what is the correct title, give several titles, no problems at all. Fifth step, you put evaluation notes to every group. And now people, every participant can come here and give some marks to the whole cloud. 3 points. To the best one, best cloud. 2 points to the next, 1 to the next. In case you have more than 3 clouds, rest clouds they don't get any evaluations. And then you can see that, okay, this cloud, that's probably the consensus here. Let's define what we wrote here. And then you have a consensual decision, co-minded decision. And maybe you can even take this one in case some clouds did not got enough points. Then either they are relevant, or another option is that they are probably sub-cloud of some more popular cloud. So you can join those clouds and you can sum those marks you gave. It's very easy. It takes some 25 to 30 minutes to reach the consensus. And if Mark told how they spent, let's say, a whole morning for reaching the consensus, what is going to be the service like to be from business and from developer perspective, then using KJ technique, we've done that in 50 minutes. So just Google for the KJ technique and you can have just step-by-step instructions. So, what did we do right now? I covered some tools I've been using in the meetings as a project manager or as a trainer or as a coach for several years. Please doodle. please format your meetings. And third one, please use KJ technique for reaching consensus. Those were the 3 tools for simple and very resultful fruitful meetings. Fruitful meeting is the meeting that there was a question, what is the fruitful meeting? I covered everything else, I hope. Fruitful meeting, for me, the definition is if you think about, actually, there is a trick or tip from my Swedish colleague. Every time he comes out from the meeting, then he takes, right after the meeting, 1 minute and 1 post-it note. And then he has to write what did happen during this meeting with 1 or 2 sentences in 1 minute after the meeting. If he can't write anything, or just he writes bollocks or rubbish, then it was not fruitful meeting. In case there was at least 1 sentence, 1 very clear outcome, then the meeting was pretty good one. So, what kind of questions do you have? We have almost no time for questions.
I can actually teach another thing, and that is when KJ doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that is, for example, if your job is to find out what the client really wants. For example, if you're a project manager and from a Nescafe or something and making a new coffee, you want to find out what is the average expectancy, what taste do people like. You do this and you get your cake clusters, what the best ones are, and choose, okay, this will be the best coffee for all the people. But in reality, only about 60% are happy with the result. A much better result would be to actually have many clusters and each cluster owner likes his product the best. So having many opinions might be sometimes better result.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is why the KG technique is working, that you don't have 1 opinion as a result. Usually there are 2 or 3 groups that collect much more marks than others. So that's more or less the same. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah?
In the 4th step, when it comes with the evaluation,
yes.
For example, if you're in a project meeting and you have different groups thinking of different solutions, do you kind of rate the best idea, or do you rate the effort-wise, that which idea will take the less effort and we can go?
It depends. You can go either way. It depends what is your target. Do you want to have an answer for a question, what is their effort, or what is the best value?
Is there a standard technique that?
No, it's what is crucial in KJ technique is question. Question has to be precise, because you get what you ask. For example, if you ask what could be the solution with the best value, then you get it. What could be the solution with a minimum effort, and you get it. So the question is crucial.
Thank you.
If you can't agree on question, what could be the question, then you just can use KJ technique for forming the question. Actually, we've done that a couple of times. Anything else?
These are all tools for meeting leader.
Yeah?
What about tools for meeting participants?
Actually, tools these for participants. For what kind of situations? Please bring me an example.
Like meeting is boring.
Meeting is boring.
Leader is incompetent.
Okay, leader is totally incompetent. Yeah. What are you usually doing when the leader is incompetent?
Pretending that you're listening.
Yeah, the multitasking.
Yes.
Anything else?
Tell the leader to work some part.
Yeah. Please give leader some feed forward. I've noticed that leaders, they don't like feedback, exactly negative feedback so much. Sometimes they're going to fire you. But if you give some feed forward, For example, what do you think if next time we are going to use KJ technique? Let's try it. And yeah, no bad idea. Okay, let's try it. So you can give some feed forward. That's probably the best one. And you can indicate that it's boring. Yeah.
Time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.